Greetings, everyone. It is Sunday, 10 a.m., March 4th, but you will be seeing this on Tuesday. Yesterday, on Saturday, my cousin Shannon messaged me telling me that her mother, my Aunt Terry, who is my mom's sister, has stage 4 cancer. She has cancer in her lungs, her liver, her lymph node, bone, and her first chemo treatment is Tuesday. Excuse the poor spelling. And as you can clearly see, my answer. There is a longer version of this video already uploaded, but I would like to keep this video as short as possible. So much for doing a video on Mercury retrograde right now, huh? Which may make this situation worse. But, at 12:59 p.m., we'll call him by his YouTube name. I still call him Priest of the Necro no matter what. He posted a question in the Black Tower group, which this question of his was, I didn't see it at the time because I'm still like it hit me, but it didn't hit me. After this question, it hit me hard, and it's left me thinking all night. I'm even thinking about it now, as we speak. He asked a question: what is real magic to you? What has it done for you? Now, I won't read the other people's answers, I'll read my own. For it is my actual point of view, which you should already know. Because I was taught this at the very beginning of my magic. At the very beginning, when I was moving into that magic area. Movement of energies that cause insert whatever to move from point A to point B, usually at a cost. So, for example, I call on the 15th name Ziku of Prosperity. I ask him for $50 to come my way. Well, I'll get the $50, but at what cost to somebody else? Somebody got robbed. Somebody left their wallet. There's a cost involved. An exchange. What has it done for me? Now this part. I don't know if this was subconscious coming out or what, I don't know. It's given me, for the most part, exactly what I've asked for, and taught me to be more specific and word what I say carefully. I don't know what you're thinking. Karos? Will? What does this have to do with your aunt? Because 7 years ago, my life was altered by some poor choices I've made in my life. The poorest choice I've ever made in my life. I was put into a situation that left me alone, basically, where my mom and my aunt helped on alternating Sundays, and I was left to do all the grunt work for the week, for 6 days a week. It was my responsibility to change my grandmother. Everything but wash her. That was my mom and aunt's job. So you can imagine how well that went. I was put in a situation where I was taking care of her for 6 days of the week. Now, my mom, despite her own health problems, helped out sometimes when she could during those 6 days. And one October 10th, 2011, an extremely hot October 10th, I might add, things came to a critical situation, and things went down that shouldn't have went down. But like I said, I made a poor choice that day. After actually having a good Sunday, I won't tell you what happened exactly, but I was arrested, and this is something I'm not proud of at all. And 7 years later, I still have just a tiny bit of guilt, because I had a stupid moment. I let my anger get the best of me. And it was bad enough. It was bad enough that my Aunt Terry and her family saw me already as a failure, as a black sheep of the family. They still do, but circumstances changed. But it's whatever. And that goes into a whole family situation that is in the director's cut video. But like I said, I want to keep it short. If you do want to watch that almost 2-hour video, I will link it to you, because it will, right now it's on private, but I will put it unlisted. But I don't think you should. I don't think I should. I should delete it. I don't know. But October 10th, I spent my night in the detention center being processed waiting my night court, basically, trial. I didn't get to that till 1 a.m. in the morning. I was given a release of recognizance, which everybody says is good. Probably because I was a first-time offender. And, I didn't get out till 2 a.m. Then I didn't get home till 3. Because it's downtown Indianapolis, and I'm waiting for a cab. When this happened, and I'm not gonna lie, my aunt, she seized this opportunity to her own advantage. If I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be honest. Just like I'm honest with myself. I'm honest all the time. People are like, oh, Will, just stop it. Shush you. You're a nice guy. Thanks for the compliment. But I think I know myself just a tad bit more. So when I say I'm an asshole, I'm an asshole. I just have my moments of being soft. And, I will say that my mom and my aunt grew up under a condition by my grandma, their mom, because she had a hard life in childhood. Her brother was the favorite of the family. Well, he died in a helicopter accident, and my grandmother got sent to live with her aunt. So she decided to grow up and play favorites with her children. And play favorites with the grandchildren. Me and my cousins, Eric, Jason, and Shannon. Terry's kids. And this has given Terry and her family this smug, we're better than everyone type of thing. So, and I noticed early on in childhood twice, but I chose to ignore it. Some would say I was spoiled. Yes, because I was being bribed. I was being bribed to look the other way. This bribery had a limit, but I remember breaking it a few times. Which I guess in retrospect ended up being the worst thing. But meanwhile, my aunt and her family would come by, grandmas, ask for loans and shit. Now, my Uncle Ray, Terry's husband, he used to work at the Coca-Cola factory here in Indiana. He used to count the product on trucks. I don't know what my Aunt Terry did, but it was a nice, comfy office job. They lived more than comfortably. Except for they were terrible at money. They made good money, but they had a terrible spending habit. buying boats that they only used once. All that kinds of shit. So, who did they go to get bailed out? Grandma. So when I did the thing that I did, she seized the opportunity to take what she could get. She already had power of attorney, so my mom, on the other hand, stood in her way. So, nothing like being used, huh? Especially during a time where, you know, I'm feeling rather suicidal at the moment. Because I could be facing imprisonment. So, I mean, yeah. So they used my situation to grab what they could. Hell, if I wasn't here, they'd probably grab the copper wiring out of the house. It's when this time that things were at its worst. Everybody was mad at each other. We were all playing the blame game. Me, I'm sitting here, freaking out, not sure what to do. I mean, yes, I got released on my own recognizance, but at the end of the week, I had to go to court again, like real court, criminal court. Trial was set for December. And, well, actually November, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, November. Like around Thanksgiving. Because it kept playing the month game. But we're focused on October right now. Because that's when it was at its worst. There was fights between my mom and Terry on who's watching Grandma. Not that I could be around her because I was told to stay away from her. As, you know, conditions to being released. And, I was told to stay away from one other person, even though I never met them. But, and they weren't physically right there, like by my car, but, you know. This situation brought out the worst in everybody. And, other than my grandmother laughing and smiling as when I went into that roundup van, according to my mother, she said she was smiling and laughing. See, my grandmother had dementia and Alzheimer's. She got hit with both. And I swear to gods, it brought out her real self. She was vicious, mean-spirited, destructive. brought all that out. And my car just happened to be one of the targets of her destroying. And that's when I lost my mind. The heat in that sent me over the edge. But like I said, everybody was at each other. I certainly wasn't taking it very well. Then she started in with this bullshit of taking the house away. And putting me into a situation of going nowhere. Now, at the time, my mom's boyfriend was on probation as well. He was on house arrest. And it could only be him and my mom living there, because that's what they put down for legal reasons. So I couldn't stay there. I had nowhere else to go. My dad was not in the picture. So it would look like it was going to be me living in my car. And I was so hurt, so angry. On top of already feeling like crap for what I did. And yeah, I still regret it to this day. So please don't ever think that I'm not. This was one of the stupidest things I've ever done in my life. Learning experience acquired, yes. But no. So what did I do in this situation? On Halloween night, I had to take care of something real quick. Around 6 to 7 p.m. I know I say 7 in the other video, but it was really between 6 and 7. I decided to call on Barashakushu, number 4 of the 50 Names of Marduk. I decided to call upon him. This would be my second time working with him that year, as I worked with him previously in the month of April. Wait, no. January. It was January. My bad. I don't know why I said April, but okay. I worked with Surim. I worked with Surim in April of that year. And I pleaded to him to throw everything that I'm experiencing back to them. Financial loss, financial ruin, No violence. No death. Everything that I was experiencing at that time, I wanted done to them. So I made my case, chanting what I wanted. And I wrapped up Halloween night by closing it out, putting everything up, and watching Halloween specials for the remainder of the night. And I just kind of forgot about it. Things would gradually get worse during some points. 2012 was probably the worst, because that's when probation hit me, that's when community service hit me, that's when court costs hit me, that's when I had to take mandatory drug testing, even though I was not on drugs or drinking alcohol at the time, because that's just fucking stupid. Why would you do that shit while you're driving in broad fucking daylight? I drink occasionally. I don't smoke. I mean, I smoked twice in my life, but that's it. And it didn't have a very good effect on me. At all. And, but as time went on, I kind of forgot about it. Then in 2014, everything changed. With the passing of my mother. I decided to drop any and all hatred, resentment. I lowered my hatchet and I dropped it. And, because they were the only family I had left still. That, I should say, wanted to talk to me unconditionally, despite what their true thoughts about me are. So, I mean, okay, there we go. Sorry, adjusting the camera here. And, I'm like, okay, wow, but still, whatever. And then I started going to their family holidays. Yes, my dad was in my life. He came back into my life in 2009, but we still weren't there. We didn't have the proper father-son relationship. He said he met my sister, yeah. He said he met my aunt once. He had some choice words for her. But, my mom's like, wow, I didn't think he met her, but okay, that's about right. And I'm like, yeah, well. But, so by this time, 2014 and on, I've completely forgot all about it. 2016 happens. Trump's running for president. I'm on my way to their house for Thanksgiving. My uncle, speaking in nonsensical gibberish, starts spouting off what Trump's gonna do with this and that. I'm like, wait a minute. He's never said any of those things. I don't know what the hell you've been watching, but Trump never said any of this stuff. He was acting like my grandma when dementia started creeping in. And started spouting paranoid, nonsensical stuff. I'm like, huh. And then here we are today. Is it possible? Could it be possible that Barishakushu did, in fact, listen to my prayer? Is it possible that he did something all this time? That it just slowly evolved? My aunt was a healthy person. She was diagnosed with diabetes in mid to late 90s. Because diabetes and heart disease runs rampant on my grandpa's side. Damn near all of his family members were taken out. His sister remains alive, and her daughter. And yet they're the most caring out of all of my family. She turned her life around real quick. She got it to where she didn't even need to take insulin anymore. She kept her diabetes in check. The only nasty habit that she had was smoking. So in a way, it kind of makes sense with some of the stuff that she got attached with. But is it possible that the cancer was there the whole time, slowly building up? Because I've seen it before. My grandmother had pancreatic cancer. She just had a dumbass doctor that didn't see it till it was too late. But then, due to medical insurance issues, she had to switch to another doctor. And he was the one that caught it. And yet, she went in there for trouble with her bowels. Which I don't know if... I think they're completely two different things, but... because I know she was having trouble going number 2. And I guess they did an x-ray or something, and they noticed it in the pancreas or whatever, and I don't know. I wasn't there. And then she had the surgery. Wrapped up nicely 2005. And that's when the dementia started happening, because too much morphine, I found out later on, can cause dementia. And I distinctly remember my mom saying that my aunt was there pumping Grandma with morphine. I distinctly remember that. She went from hiding her true face to being into showing her true face, which in turn kind of goes back to my aunt. So and then I seen it in Daryl. He had tongue cancer. And from his years of smoking and drinking, he beat it 3 times. But he just stopped going to his treatments, and then he came back, and yeah. Because everybody was yelling at him to take his treatments, and he just gave up on life. So and then so I mean, it is what it is, right? Could it be possible? Yeah. What's one way to ruin somebody financially? Getting a disease that, like this, could ruin somebody. Cancer treatment, surgery, and all that. Except for simply going to chemo. Is one way, one possible way to ruin somebody financially. Like I had asked, but not like this. I meant loss of jobs. But I guess Barashakushu saw my inner fire. He saw my inner hatred. Because I thought it was bullshit to be treated when all I wanted was to be, you know, not a picture perfect family and extended family, but family that got along. That's what I always wanted. But no, I was classified as the black sheep and failure of the family. And then when I did what I did, oh, I really showed them how big of a fucking screw up I really am. Which ended up hurting myself in the process. So it's possible that Barish Kushu had my back the whole time. But I just guess I was just a little bit angrier than I thought. Just a little bit. And since he hears the prayers and delivers the prayer to the gods, I guess whoever he delivered my prayer to, well, I guess they saw it as just cause. I did what I did because I thought it was right. I didn't want them to get cancer and for my uncle to get Alzheimer's and dementia. Never my intentions. I just wanted them to feel what it was like to lose security. Knowing to be feeling alone. Knowing that you have this high amount of debt on you. Public defenders are not free. They are $100 as of 2011, 2012 in the state of Indiana. Prices may have changed. Plus $10 for 1 year of fucking drug testing, which I had to take because it was part of the plea bargain. I was given 1 year probation, 40 hours community service, and I forget how many months, or how many weeks, but 2 weeks of anger management. So yeah, 2012, I guess I was fueling that fire. Despite the fact that I had forgot about it. Then again, this all could be Uzil's doing. As Brother Wayland once said in my video for Witches of No Honor, that sometimes magic can affect others outside the target. And he's right. I have forgotten about splash damage. But like I said, I thought it was specific because Uziel was asking for pictures of my cats and anything else, or anyone else, I should technically say. And that led me to think that it was specific. I lost Mr. Mumbles because of this. I'm losing Pesky. She's starting to get worse again. Her walking is bad. And as much as she's been eating, she's not keeping anything. So why wouldn't it not make sense for my aunt to get hit with it too? But here's the question. Why would it be my aunt? Wouldn't it be everybody else? My uncle? My cousins? I was around them for Thanksgiving and Christmas. So, but I don't know. And this is the part that I wish I could tell you. I don't know. I just don't know. It can be Uziel's doing. And it can be because it seems like it. And it's easy to put it on her. And the bullshit that she's done. Hitting me with both high and low magic. So of course it's easy to put it on her. But then again, no one else has seriously gotten sick or had a bad luck run through. Just my aunt. Now, my Uncle Ray, little pre-phase stuff, that happened before I met Uziel, so like really met her. Because my uncle's always been kind of different. It just wasn't more prominent until 2016. But, we were still on good terms then. Well, I wasn't, being attacked as much. So, it wouldn't be till a few months later. That's when things went into high gear. Because that's how 2017 started. Which, 2018 was even worse than that. So I can't tell you. I really can't tell you. It can go either way. And honestly, it's up to you to decide, I guess. Was it my doing? Or is it Devil Woman's doing? Or maybe it's just one giant slap from the universe. It's possible too. But I find it kind of funny that all of that was just hit on her. All of a sudden. Turn to my grimoire. turn to page 58 of my grimoire. We come to Zagreem once more. As Zagreem, a most terrible opponent, it is said Zagreem slays slowly, after a most unnatural fashion. Slowly fits this criteria. Unnatural? Definitely. It's not even Daryl or anybody I know who's had cancer look like they got shit on. So it's possible. So I don't know. All I did was what I thought was right. And I asked for financial ruin of loss of jobs. To feel isolated. Exactly what I was feeling. Yeah, sure, my mom was there in my corner. And she may have been a street over from this place. But she was still far away. Living here alone. So anything's possible. I just don't know what to think. It can go either way. And that's all I can tell you. But I certainly did not want this to be placed on any of my family members. At all. Worst enemy, yes. Because if you're willing to use it to score money, you kind of deserve it. You don't joke and you don't use it as a tool. Because this is serious stuff. Especially stage 4. This is some serious shit. You don't play with it. And that's one of the things I don't do. I don't play about my health. I've done it before. Oh yes. And I've paid the price for it. I've had my ass knocked out for playing with it. You don't play with your health like that. You don't lie about it. But, can't tell you one way or the other, because I don't know. But like I said, the question that popped up after reading timing, that's all I can say. But it is what it is. But all of that aside, I'm going to do the thing that hasn't been done. Which is to show love and compassion right now. Like I said, I've dropped the hatchet. I didn't say they did, but I did. So, to show compassion and support and love right now. It's the only thing left to be done. And that's what I'm going to do. Do I feel guilty? I don't know. I don't know. Because like I said, this could go any way. It could be Uziel. It could be me. It could be the universe saying, you know what, it's time you got slapped in the face. I've decided this. Which, technically, we are all at the mercy of the universe at any time. But, I'm going to end this video here. Try to keep it a little bit shorter. Not much, but all the stuff where you can find me is in the description box below. Questions, comments, concerns, all that. Standard procedure. So, that's all I'm gonna say. I don't know. I just don't know.